Alright, now the rain catchment portion of the shower house is done with the gutters and stuff installed. It's time to get to work on the plumbing. Shouldn't be too complicated. I'm installing a pretty good filtration system down to 5 microns. Nothing super fancy, just to keep all the debris and stuff out of the water stream. Mostly out of the heater, but it should still be good to shower with. So I've got most of what I need, and I just got back from the hardware store where I bought a bunch of connectors, and I've decided to use PEX plumbing pipe for the water pipe, and it'll be my first time using one of those PEX tools, so that'll be a little bit of a learning curve. So this is the general idea. 3/4 inch hose pipe from the water catchment system through a little bit of a debris filter that's attached directly to the pump. The pump goes into a big filter system. I have a little tiny accumulator thing to keep the pump from overworking. I'll put a T-joint after that. The cold water feed will go straight to the shower, and the other branch of that T will go to the input of the heater, and then the output of the heater will go to the hot water tap on the shower. So I went to the store, got some PEX, just 10 feet of each, should be plenty, and all of these little pieces. So I'm going to figure out how to put all this stuff together. I think I'm just going to work my way backwards from the shower connectors, which are on the other side of this wall. So that's step one, is to drill some holes and run some pipe. Meanwhile, on the other side of the wall, oh, just a tiny bit too small. I don't remember exactly why I bought this bit, but it is 17/18 of an inch diameter, not 1 inch. I grabbed it thinking it was a 1 inch. This is a 1 inch. By the way, that's not sped up, that's just how fast Forstner bits work. They have about 4 times to 10 times the amount of cutting surface as a spade bit, and they have a slanted ejector that gets the chips out of the way. So you can go through 2x4s like that. Cold. So I've removed all of the old attachments. I've got the brand new PEX fittings. I need to put some new plumber's tape. I've got a brand new PEX crimper. Never done it before. between 1/8 of an inch and 1/4 of an inch from the top. Looks tight to me, I guess. This shouldn't actually need Thomas tape because it's a compression fitting into the rubber gasket inside there. This is the hosepipe feed from the water collection barrel with a 1/2 inch connector on it. And then this little sort of pre-filter just to stop debris from getting into the pump. So the pump will go there, and this will be connected to another piece of PEX. So in my drawing earlier I showed the accumulator tank coming after the filter, but I did some Googling and actually that's reversed really. What everybody suggests you do is put the accumulator tank directly after the pump. So the pump fills the accumulator tank, then that maintains the pressure and sort of balances the pressure as it pushes it through the filter. Unfortunately my camera ran out of batteries while I was installing that, but that's what's in here now, and now I'm going to put in the filter. But I want to put a shutoff valve before that. So I'm going to shorten this a little bit, put the shutoff valve here, connect that to there, and then this will go up to the cold feed line and into the cold water input on the heater. The one thing I haven't been able to find is plastic versions of these PEX connectors for everything here. I'm pretty sure you're not supposed to use metal with these plastic systems because when things get cold or hot and these things expand and contract, they can crack the plastic, is my guess. I'm sure a plumber will tell me in the comments. I'm just going with brass and I'll replace everything if I have to, I guess. It's amazing how quickly I've become completely comfortable with using PEX. Like, it's always been kind of a mystery, I guess. Like how, you know, hundreds of years of plumbing has just been replaced with this one tool and this one format, and then suddenly you do it and it's easy. So I decided that that sort of bendy piece of PEX pipe that I did for the hot water, I thought PEX was going to be more flexible than it really is. In the end, I'm going to take that out and put in straight with a bunch of elbows. I didn't have the right elbows before, so it seemed like a better idea. But that's what I'm going to do. That's a bit neater. Great, that's all the plumbing done. Incoming water from the rain barrel through a little filter into the pump. The pump will push into this accumulator tank, which is a little adjustable pressure accumulator tank. On-off switch for changing the filter. So it'll get to the filter and then run through here, up to here where it tees off to a cold water feed into the hot water heater, which will then get heated and come out, obviously, through the hot water tap into the hot water faucet for the shower, and the cold tees off in directly to the cold water feed for the shower. I think that is the job complete. Of course, I haven't run any water through it yet, so I don't know if it leaks or works, but hopefully it'll be great. I'm going to test it and open the valve from the rain catchment. Well, that seems to be the cold water running fine with no leaks. Now I need to hook up the gas to the heater and test out the hot water side of the system. The idea is that this pump will turn on at any pressure below 65 psi. This regulator is set to 60, 62, something like that, psi. So it should turn off pretty quickly after you turn it on. So you push power to the pump, it will pump for a little bit, until it gets up to 65, and all of this then becomes active. So cold water's feeding at 65 psi into the water heater, and obviously the hot and cold pipes are connected to the shower in the next stall. So with the gas on and the pump on, that should be right, because it's all up to pressure and 65 psi. Let's see what happens here. Hot water on. And we have, well, warm water. Oh, it's getting hotter. That's pretty good. All right, it works. Hot water, running water, pump on demand, very noisy pump. So I'm going to see if there's a way to secure that pump to something other than this giant reverberating wall panel that might make it a bit quieter. So that's my next project. But that's a project for another day. This project, the plumbing side of things with the hot water heater and the gas and the plumbing and the shower and the outfitting of the shower and the water catchment system and the rain barrel, all of that is done. I'm super happy with that. Please give me a thumbs up if you're as happy as I am. Got this all done. If you're already a subscriber, thank you very much. When I started this channel, I honestly thought it was just going to be a way for my friends to keep up with what I'm doing out here in the forest, but having this many subscribers is a surprise and a delight, so thank you very much. If you're not a subscriber, please consider doing so. I'm going to post as often as I can, hopefully at least once a week. Yeah, it's going to be this kind of stuff and forestry stuff and land steward stuff, making things in my off-grid workshop, and generally sort of turning this once neglected woodland into a homestead of some kind. So that's my plan. Hope you can follow along. Either way, thanks very much for watching. Just a quick follow-up. It's been a week, a very rainy week, so I'm going to check and see how much water is in the collection barrel. Full to the top. So I'm very happy with that. That was basically 2.5 inches of rain over the last 3 or 4 days, and it's completely filled the barrel, obviously, to overflowing. So the calculation for the roof of about 40 gallons per inch of rain is perfect to fill this with every inch of rain, and it rains a lot up here, so I shouldn't ever run out of water for this shower house and any other uses I want to put the water to. So that's great news.